All right, we have a position of a particle moving along an x-axis as a function of time t. And it's given by this function here, and note that time is greater than or equal to 0. What is the particle's acceleration at the instant the particle is farthest to the right? So because we're talking about a position function, right, this particle is moving along the x-axis, so it's going to move left and right in some, so let's just say it starts at 0 and moves some direction here, and then it might move back and whatever. We're looking for what's the farthest value to the right. Well, when it hits this farthest value, that's when it shifts. It shifts from going this direction to this direction. And because it shifts, it changes direction, that means for a moment, the velocity must be 0 because it has to go from positive velocity to negative velocity or vice versa. Now, when the velocity equals 0, well, that's the same thing as asking what's, the velocity function here, which is just the derivative of the position function, and setting it equal to 0. This, of course, gives us 3t squared. Divide by that, you get 4t squared. So t equals plus or minus 2. And t is only positive or equal to 0. So it has to be when t equals 2. Now, I don't really care about the position of the particle. I care about the acceleration of the particle. And that happens at the second derivative. And of course, we're going to find the second derivative and then plug in. We already found where the value actually is. If you plug 2 into our position, right, you get 24 minus 8. That's going to be 16. So we know it's actually in the positive. It is the farthest to the right. I guess you also should check 0, right? If you plug 0 into there, you get 0. So you know that the 0 point, the starting part of this interval, isn't to the farthest to the right. 16 is the farthest to the right. The second derivative is just going to be the derivative of this one. It's going to be negative 6t, and we're going to plug in 2 into this, and we get negative 6 times 2. That's going to give us negative 12, and that's A.